Hello and welcome to this episode of The Mentor. My name is John Abraham Godson. In this episode and in subsequent episodes, we're going to be looking at what does it take for God to trust a man? What does it take for God to trust a man? I in the last couple of days and possibly weeks, that's one of the thoughts that has been coming to my mind. Why is it that God trusts some people and doesn't trust others, even amongst Christian leaders, even amongst people who are called the children of God? I think it is very important for us to understand the concept of God trusting man. It's easy for us to talk about us trusting God, but does God trust you? When you look at the Bible, when you go through the passages of the Bible, you find out that there are people that God trusted. There were people God committed things into their hands. And I want to say that the problem that God has is not money. He doesn't have any problem with money. He doesn't have any problem with resources. He doesn't have any problem with riches. He doesn't have any problem with any of those things we think are important. The challenge that God has is to find faithful men that he can trust, men that he can depend on. And I come to ask myself the question, if God entrusts into your hand enormous resources, let's say in billions of dollars, what would that do to you? Would you still be faithful? Would you still, be doing your morning prayer? Would you still be crying out to God? Would you still be committed? These are some of the things that God is looking at. And we are going to be reading from Genesis chapter 18, verse 17 to verse 19. It says, "And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the ways of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him." Here we see God sharing his secret with Abraham. And the reason why he shared this secret with Abraham is because he trusted Abraham. And why did he trust Abraham? Of course, we know the antecedents of Abraham. His decision to obey God, leaving his hometown or his nation to go to another nation, not knowing where he was going at the instance of God. We know of Abraham that when God told him to sacrifice his son Isaac, he did that without asking any question. So this Abraham, God said, I know him that he would instruct his children, he would teach his children. And so God trusted Abraham. God trusted Abraham. And one of the very cries of my heart is that I'll be a man that God can trust. I'll be a man that God can look up to. I'll be a man that God can share his secrets with. And I want to encourage you. The life we are living is very short. And everything around us is just, happening, and we're just living our lives. But the very essence of life is for God to say, I know John Abraham Godson. I know Sarah. I know Chidinma. I know James. I know Paul. I know this and I know this other person. Does God know you? And does God trust you? Does God trust you? I want to encourage you. May that become the prime goal of your life, the prime direction of your life, that you're going to be seeking to become a man that God can trust, to become a woman that God can trust. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Bye-bye.